Welcome, all you wizards of Waverly Place, to the Dead Wax Show. I'm joined by my friend Brent and Big Brother. How are you, Brent?
I'm doing good. I don't get the reference. Maybe it's Harry Potter.
The Wizards of Waverly Place was a Disney show.
There you go. So, hey, but whatever, you really hit that demographic for the Disney Channel listeners that we got. They're all like, yeah. So that's
Disney
great.
Channel audience, yeah.
I thought you were going to throw out another catcher like you did last week with the get out of the groove and into the Dead Wax. But
I was going to do that in a moment.
Oh, sorry. But, Waverly Place works as well. Actually, as a matter of fact, the roads I grew up on, my main road was Marciel. That was my address. The other street, because we were right on the corner, was Waverly. So,
my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
So yeah.
Anyways, I'm doing great, man. I have survived technically another week of No by November, which we'll talk about in a little bit maybe. But I've got no complaints, and I don't think anyone would care if I did anyway. So I'm doing great. How about you, my friend?
I am doing great, living, thriving, breathing, eating, all of that good stuff.
That's good. That's good stuff to do.
Yeah, I wish I had something more exciting, but
that's Utah.
Hey, there you go.
Then we just lost the Utah demographic.
So
we love Utah.
Anyways, let's get this started. Let's get out of the groove and let's get into the Dead Wax.
Yeah. The nothingness that is the Dead Wax.
The dead abyss.
Like, and I know it's just stupid. Last week I talked about how my name is Vinyl Stooge on the social medias because I'm an idiot, and anyways, don't take anything. I love that we're called Dead Wax because there's literally nothing in the Dead Wax, meaning like just kind of it's a self-deprecating title, and I love it. There's nothing. It's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing.
Just like our show, there's nothing.
There's no value. There's nothing you're gonna get from it.
Yeah, a show about nothing seems familiar. Get it, Seinfeld? Anyway,
I did get that one. Yeah.
Anyway, so you are doing No by November, so no new records picked up for Brent this week. But is there anything going on in the world of records that you'd like to report?
Well, yeah, of course there is, and people on the social medias will know there was an incident this week with my No by Novemberism. Jack White released an album, which is hilarious because on last week's episode, I talked about how I felt like there is one coming, and it didn't take a genius, I guess, because I'm not a genius. But I felt like there's something on the way, and there definitely was. So Jack White released not just one, I shouldn't say released, he announced 2 upcoming albums, his 4th and 5th albums. I can't remember the names of them right now. One's Afraid of the Dawn, I think that's what it was, right? The 4th one's Afraid of the Dawn. I don't know what the 5th one is. So pre-orders came out for the 4th one. He's got Third Man did one for the 5th as well. It's just on black vinyl though, and so anyways, we're gonna wait till something cooler comes out with that. But the 4th album, I want to say there's 3 or 4 different variants that came out from different people if you include the black vinyl. So there is a lot to pick from. As soon as it was announced, I sent it to you guys, our Instagram vinyl brotherhood, whatever you want to call it, the Violent Smiles, just so you guys know that's what we call ourselves. Super, super macho right there. And then I went and told my wife, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got this conundrum. I want this so bad. But I'm doing No by November. And I decided, you know what, because it's not coming out till next April, I think I'll be okay. So, I was able to resist the temptation. But right after I showed my wife, unbeknownst to me, she wouldn't actually pre-order it for me, and then came down and told me about it.
Yes.
So I did a poll on both Instagram and Twitter, because Instagram and TikTok.
Yep.
And hey, let everyone know what the situation was. And I left a poll open for people saying, hey, am I out? Am I not making it? And it was 25 to 30%, a quarter to 1/3 of people said that I'm out. Whereas the majority felt that, that was a gift. I didn't tell her to do it. She did it on her own. Therefore, I'm still in it. Yeah. So I still am doing the No by November. I'm still not trying to buy any records. I haven't cast that off, but I also see the side I'm a politician in this way. I see the side of those who are like, yeah, right. He told his wife to buy it and he cheated and that doesn't count. It's a sham. I see that side of it too. So either way, I'm still not going to try to buy anything going forward. And we'll put an asterisk if I actually do make it to the end of the month. We'll put an asterisk saying, "Oh, wife pre-ordered Jack White's Afraid of the Dawn" or whatever it was. So, but yeah, sorry to take up so much mic time, but yeah, that's unless you're living under a rock, you know, that's one of the big announcements from this week. Oh, and besides that, of course, something we don't really talk about because we're not huge fans. I understand Taylor Swift maybe released something like this week or last week or something.
She did her version of the album Red.
She re-released Red.
Yes, yep. Taylor's version of Red.
Taylor's version. What was the original version? That wasn't her version.
Well, she had a huge dispute with who owns her music, and a lot of her early music. Okay,
she doesn't know the rights to, so she's re-recording it to get the rights to those versions.
Okay, we're gonna be honest here on the pod. I do not like Taylor Swift at all, but I think she's a genius. I know. Can you believe? We're
gonna be.
I don't like Taylor Swift.
We are going to be canceled by the Swift Nation. They're going to come in with pitchforks and torches, and they're going to burn this thing to the ground.
To save us getting burned down, though, I was with some friends the other night, and we watched the 14-minute music video from her new album. So if that hasn't redeemed me in some way through giving up 14 minutes of my life to that, there you go. It wasn't bad. It was fine. It was Taylor Swift. But she did put out the new album, and what's so funny is it's called Red, but only Target, I believe, has the rights to press it on red vinyl. Everything else is a different color, which is so funny to me. The album is a color name, and only one store can make it that color.
Hey, you know, whatever. Luckily, we're not Taylor Swift fans. I mean, per se, you know, we're not collecting their
yet.
So it's not a really big, huge loss on our end. And we're not the kind of jerks who are going to try to buy that album and then, you know, resell it to some Swift fans for some money.
Yeah, that ain't us.
May they rot in hell. The flippers, not the Taylor Swift fans, just so I'm clear. I set you up there.
Gotta calm down here on the pod.
Anyways,
for today's show,
you go.
We want to introduce a new structure to the Dead Wax Show. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have our main topic, of course, that's gonna be different every week. Gonna get us talking about records, TikTok, whatever,
music,
and then we're gonna have a game, and then we're gonna have a Q&A. Welcome to the new version of the Dead Wax Show.
Yeah, short and simple.
Yeah. I stuck my tongue out for a second because it looks blue.
Oh, yeah. You're going to tell people why it's blue?
Oh,
Chris he was making out with the Smurf.
But they're still only this big, so it died. Anyway.
The Smurf?
The Smurf exploded. Yeah.
What it tastes like? Chicken?
Yeah, let's say that. Let's go.
Okay.
It tasted like chicken. To get into today's episode of the Dead Wax Show, we're talking about 3 very important records to each of us, and they have sentimental value in different ways. But these are records from our own personal collection that we wanted to show you guys and everybody watching why they mean so much to us and why we picked these very specific records. So that was a good clap. Let's get into it.
Okay. Nice accent.
Hey, thank you.
What was that?
That's a great question. I don't really know.
Leave in the comments what accent you thought that was that Chris did.
What accent do you think Chris is doing?
If we get 10,000 likes on this video, then we'll tell you what it was.
The very first record that Brent and I are going to talk about is a record where the music means a lot to you.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So Brent, will you start us off? What record where the music?
Let me get it out of the sheet here so it doesn't glare on my light. All right, so I picked this album. I guess I'll share it first and I'll tell why. But so the album I picked where the music it means a lot to me, I went with this Greatest Hits album by Led Zeppelin, the early days. So the reason I chose this album is because I discovered Led Zeppelin in high school, basically, or shortly before high school. it could have been high school. I can't remember. Right around there, somewhere between middle school transitioning to high school. My best friend introduced me to Led Zeppelin, and we both fell in love. And this friend, his name was Steve. He's been one of the most influential, like the biggest musical influences on me, because he introduced me to a lot of stuff that's kind of stuck with me throughout my life. Like he's the one like introduced me like Rage Against the Machine, Led Zeppelin, you know, some of my favorites. Anyways, so the reason this album means so much to me is because it's their greatest hits, and that's all I'd really listened to back in the day. And whenever we go somewhere together, whenever we're doing something like going to hang out with friends, going to driving to the beach, hanging out, playing basketball, we usually had Led Zeppelin on in the background. And so it's nostalgic for me in that it reminds me of a time, a simpler time. I don't want to say a better time, because each time is just has its pros and cons, but just like a carefree, simple time where, you know, you do your schoolwork and then you kind of got to go and just do your thing and have fun and not have to worry about so much like a mortgage and bills and all that other stuff. So even though a mortgage, I guess, is technically a bill, but yeah, so that's why the music on this holds so much, you know, sentimental meaning to me. It transformed me back to a different time that I look back on fondly. So my record is this greatest hits early days, and I'm so glad I was able to find a copy of this on vinyl, because there's not a lot of them. I did pay a pretty penny for this. I wouldn't even say it's mint. You can see like the corners are kind of a little jaggedy. So it's definitely like, I would say good to very good, you know, but it plays good still. So anyways, shout out to Econo Jam Records in Oakland, California for hooking it up with this one.
Sponsor us.
Anyways,
that was a bomb record though. The early days of Led Zeppelin, those songs are insanely good.
Yeah,
and talk about like not just high quality, but like half the reason rock and roll exists.
Yeah. Before you go on, let me just like some good times, bad times, communication breakdown, whole lot of love, immigrant song, Black Dog, rock and roll, Stairway to Heaven, When to Love You, just all like loaded with hits, you know, just their classic rock songs. So that's the one I went with. They mean a lot to me.
Love that. That was a good one.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir. I'll turn the time over to you since I am so long-winded.
Don't you dare ever be sorry for being long-winded. I love it. All right. So the one I went with is You're Gonna Miss It All by the band Modern Baseball.
Modern Baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Modern Baseball is an emo band. And man, they do it better than anybody else. But I got into this album a couple years ago, very weird year of my life. And what I love about this record is the Modern Baseball's way of singing is very like they just say what people talk about instead of writing lyrically. So instead of saying, you know, oh, I'm sad, having a rough day, hope that things get better, there's a song that just talks about how he wants to eat pizza and sleep with his friend because it's going to be a lot easier than what he's going through right now. And I vibe so heavy with this because it's the perfect mix of like happy, sad music. I think we even talked about this before. Like happy, sad music gets me going every time. I absolutely love it. So You're Gonna Miss It All by Modern Baseball is also, just for those watching that don't know this, wildly influential on the modern emo movement. This was sort of what rejuvenated emo to come back into the 2010s. And it really like boosted this idea that you don't need to like wear eyeliner and black clothes to be emo. You can just wear plaid and flannel and just talk about pizza all the time, and you can still write great music. So Modern Baseball, sadly, they do not play together anymore. I know they had to take a break for their mental health, and that was several years ago, and there are no plans to get back together. So Modern Baseball, they put out 3 perfect albums. This is the best one. And
what's the name of it?
You're Gonna Miss It All.
You're Gonna Miss It All. So I was gonna say I've got a little bit of experience with Modern Baseball. That might be the album I heard. Like, did that come out? I want to say like probably within the last 5 years, right? That one, or no?
I think it was like 2015.
Okay, so not 6 years. Well, I remember when that came out, which is ironic that you love Modern Baseball because it's a sport thing, and you're
literally the thing I know about baseball and football is Modern Baseball and American football, the bands. So,
and that's what drove me to Modern Baseball. I'm like, well, I like American football. I wonder if this is kind of the same thing. That's the way my simple brain works. So I put them on. I'm like, each minute's like I said, each song is like a minute and 20 seconds.
Oh yeah,
and it's just
so
like, it's like just, crazy. Anyway, so I didn't hate it. I listened to one of them all the way through and I was like, that was fine, but I think I'm good. So
yeah.
Anyways.
And I think Modern Baseball would be happy with that response.
They don't care.
They're defunct. Who even cares?
Yeah.
All right. Record number 2. This is a record that the object, the record itself, means a lot to you.
Okay. Let me get it real quick. So let me take this out. So this album, and this is why it's important to me, I'm going to share with everybody. And everyone had to know one of these was coming, right?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Thick Freakness by the Black Keys. It's been my favorite Black Keys album for a while. However, I feel like El Camino is just starting to kind of slowly etch it out the more I listen to El Camino. This was like one of the albums I listened to from the Black Keys that really caught my eye for the Black Keys. Just the bluesy guitar, catchy riffs that they had. I just fell in love with them. And the opening track, the title track on this album, Thick Freakness, it just the lick that Dan lays down just to open the song and throughout, it just like, it's so catchy and so awesome. In my opinion, I'm not going to try to mimic it with my mouth or voice because it would not do it any justice and it might even actually hurt it. So the reason this one's so special to me is because this is the very first record I ever bought, Chris. So if you want to know, this is it right here. This is what started it all. 500 later, but this is the one. Like I don't know if you remember what I said last week, but when I first started collecting records, I was like, I just need one record from each of my favorite bands and I'll be good. So this is the one I chose now I have the whole catalog and then some from the Black Keys, but I was like, if I had to get one, this is the one I was going to go with. So this is one that is special or sentimental because this is the very first one I bought.
That's the first one.
Yep, there you go.
And here we are, one whole addiction later. That's so crazy. That's a great choice, but also just Thick Freakness is a bomb album.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, totally.
I concur. But that's all I have to say about that.
And that's on period. It's slang, Brent. That's slang to say it's on period. Okay.
Is that what all the kids are saying these days?
We can move on. Because that's going to take way too long to play.
We got to let everyone know there's a generational gap in between us. So
it's all right.
Anyways.
All right. Mine. I went with Black Sabbath Volume 4.
Nice.
Volume 4. Black Sabbath Volume 4 is what I tried to say. Anyway, this is my favorite Black Sabbath album. It has the best song Black Sabbath ever wrote, which is Tomorrow's Dream on it. Anyway, here's why it's so sentimental to me. My dad got me this album when I was like 21. And we're going to get serious for a minute. When I was 21, I went through some very rough stuff. And I had just returned from serving religious mission for 2 years. And I had zero plans for what my life was going to be like as an adult. So, and I also had basically no friends. So I was at a very bizarre time of life where I really didn't feel like anybody understood me and the way I think and what I like. I had told my dad in like September that this is my favorite Black Sabbath album, just in conversation. We were just talking about something else. And I was like, oh yeah, Volume 4 is the best Black Sabbath album. Well, Christmas morning, I got this from my dad. And I remember just like crying because it was sort of a sign that when nobody else understood me, my dad understood me. And so I will never, ever, ever get rid of this. If my house is ever on fire, this is the first thing I'm saving because it is like a constant reminder that while I am a bit odd and my brain works in a very different way, there are people that understand, even if you think there are not. So Black Sabbath Volume 4.
Gotcha. Good share. And we almost had tears on episode 2.
Almost had tears in episode 2. It's going to be hard.
I heard that. I heard the shakiness just a little bit.
It is not hard to get me to cry, everybody. Heads up, it's not hard to get me to cry. In fact, I cried yesterday during a song, and it was, speaking of Taylor Swift, that's so funny. One of my favorite singers, Dan Campbell from the Wonder Years, he covered a Taylor Swift song. I don't like her, but I love him. So listening to it, I started crying.
By proxy, you were crying at a Taylor Swift song. You just admitted that to us.
So that means I've cried to a Taylor Swift song. Yeah.
No, I think everyone has cried to a song before, unless you're dead inside. Um, so yeah, that would be a
I
great
cried.
topic, I think, sometime
Oh
is
man, do
songs that
not get
you've
me started.
songs that have gotten you
Cried.
emotional.
I've cried to so many songs in my day, so we might make it a series.
I think I've got a handful. I know a handful I can think off the top of my head, but anyways, I'm mostly dead inside, not all the way dead. Anyways, um, just continuing on with the theme of crying too. As a father of three now, I mean, before I had kids, I didn't, I can't remember crying ever, unless I was like physically hurt really bad or something. Um, now that I've had kids, I'll watch like a movie, I mean, I guess this is not hard to do. Disney movies make people cry a lot, I guess. But even like just some, like, I'm trying to think of an example, like a movie you wouldn't think someone would cry at. And I cried. Oh, I was at the gym. I was at my gym. Sorry, this is a tangent. Sorry to take a tangent in the middle of this segment. Uh, I was at the gym, and at the gym I go to, yeah, believe it or not, I go to the gym. not as
Oh my
not
gosh.
not as frequently as I should. Obviously, I eat more tacos and pizza than I do times I go to the gym. But anyways, to warm up, I like to walk on the treadmill for a while. Who am I kidding? That's most of my workout is just walking on the treadmill. But I add an incline. So, anyways, um, so at the gym I go to, they've got a theater room, like where they've got like bikes and treadmills. So it's dark. You've got a huge screen, like a projector screen and surround sound. So it's just great. And this one day I went, they were playing, it's happened on two different occasions, but the one I can remember right now, they were playing Creed 2. Have you ever seen, like, I'm not a huge Rocky fan. I haven't seen the first Creed, but they were playing Creed 2. They were playing Creed 2. And at the end of the movie, I think it was Creed 2. It might have been Creed. I can't remember. It was one of the Creed movies, but at the end of the movie, spoilers, like Sylvester Stallone goes and I think he reconnects with his son who he disconnected from, and he finally meets his grandson, I want to say, for the first time. Okay. And just to see like the emotion on Sylvester Stallone's face, Rambo, freaking, one of the toughest 80s action stars, like it like got me. I'm walking on the treadmill. I'm like, oh my God. Tears are like starting to well up in my eyes. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, and I only walked for like 30 minutes. So I caught like the last 30 minutes of the movie. It's not like I was invested in the whole movie. So yeah, this is an example of like, I cry easily too. And it happens a lot when I'm watching movies, dude. Sorry. I'm so tangenty. I apologize. And I'm taking all the mic time. The Simpsons, there's an episode. Do you know the episode where Bart has to train Santa's little helper to be obedient, or they're going to have to turn him over to the pound to be killed?
Yep.
Anyways, this was this year. Last year, before I moved to Utah, I moved to Utah last year from California. Before we moved, I had an old English bulldog. His name was Baxter. We had to put him down. He was getting really old. He was riddled with tumors, and like his tumors were like, anyway, I don't get graphic with it, but he was time. He was only 8. And anyways, it was really hard because we put him down shortly before we moved. There was all these changes happening. And then I watched this episode, I want to say a couple months after we moved here. And like, it's the part where Bart's like breaking down, telling Santa's over, I need you to listen, or I'm going to lose you. And I lost it. I started crying watching The Simpsons because I was thinking about my dog who we had to just put down. Yeah. Anyway, so just so you know how big of a baby I am. Yeah, I cry all the time too. Well, we'll have a cry session one of these days. We'll call it the cry episode. We'll just talk about stuff that makes us cry.
I've cried to episodes of The Simpsons. There's episodes of The Simpsons that are shockingly emotional.
Oh, yeah. The first season. Have you watched the first season in a while?
Well, I was just about to say, there's a super early one where Bart has to try to pass his class because he has bad grades, and he actually tries and learns, and he still gets an F on the test, and he breaks down.
Yeah.
And I've bawled my eyes out because I've freaking been there as that ADHD kid that like tries, but it still doesn't work, and everyone thinks you're stupid. So yeah, that will get me.
Really. The whole the whole first season, maybe even the first 2 seasons, like every episode, it seems like Homer and Marge's marriage is like on the fence, and it's like kind of serious stuff. So man, anyways, that's a whole other podcast. Anyway,
whole other pod. We're getting a preview for the next one.
I know. All right,
we have one more
record
question for our records, and this is a record that you will never sell, no matter what.
All right. So this next one I would never sell.
Okay.
Two reasons. First one being I probably wouldn't get anything for it. And the second, I can't find it. I wouldn't be able to get it again because I had it custom made. So this is my album, Seasick Music by Shark Speed. This actually doesn't exist on vinyl. I had to have shoot, what was the name of the company? One Groove. I can't remember what their name was. I think it was One Groove. I don't know. I had this custom made. This band, Shark Speed, they're local from Utah and Vegas. Like they're split there. Anyways, they're around. They're defunct as well. They went defunct about 10 years ago. And I loved their music. It's what would you call it? Indie rock with a pinch of ska in it. They actually have like a horn in it. Anyways, just so you know, I definitely wouldn't call it ska though, but it's got a horn in there, a trumpet sometimes. Anyways, I had this custom made because I love this album so much. I wanted to have it on vinyl. So it's not like I could go online and order it. I guess I technically did, but like I couldn't order it already made. I had to send in the tracks to the people. I sent in this image of the cover so they could make it. This is not what the original back looked like. I'm sorry if it's backwards. Can you see it as Shark Speed or is it's Karashk Deeps? Anyways, normal. Oh, it is. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, this one will never sell because I had it custom made.
Yeah.
And second, anyone who would want to buy is like, who the hell is Shark Speed and why would I pay you anything for it? But I think you can still find these guys. I know you can find them on Bandcamp. They might have an album on iTunes still. One of my favorites of all time, even though they only put out like an album and an EP and then went defunct, but good stuff. I love these guys. Shark Speed. Never get rid of this one.
Was it very much money to have a custom record made? I actually don't know how that works.
So yeah, there's different pricing options. There's different companies. The one I went with, like I said, I think it's One Groove. I wonder if they have it anywhere on here. Let me check the label real quick to see if it's on there. No, I even got to custom make the labels. You see that?
Oh wow, yeah.
Anywho's, they also sent a polyethylene inner sleeve, just so you know, they're fancy like that.
Yeah, look at that inner sleeve rise up.
It just depends. Like there's different options, like if you wanted black vinyl or clear vinyl, if you wanted 180 grams, or if you're fine with 100, I think it was 40 or 120. If you wanted just one side printed, if you wanted it color, if you wanted both side, black and white or cover. But mine, to get it without shipping, I want to say it was like 70-80 bucks. It's been a while now, so it's not cheap. So
no, but like you said, it's custom, it's unique, there's nothing else like it.
And
by the way, for all those listening who don't know, the gram amount is how thick your record is going to be. If it's 180 gram, that is as thick as it can be, and that's as good as it will sound. The thicker it is, the better it sounds. And you can get it 140, 180, or 120.
Yep. And the way to tell which thickness you have is just bite that record. You should be able to taste all 180 grams if it's 180 grams.
Exactly. Some call it the thick freakness. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway. I'll go for mine, which that was a great choice, by the way, because you're right.
Thank you.
That's unique, that's interesting, and no one else has it. I am going to go with the opposite. This is an album that I paid a lot of money for as well, but
everyone has.
This is With Roots Above and Branches Below by The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, I love that movie.
It is, yeah. It's basically just the movie with Meryl Streep, but it's on vinyl.
Meryl Streep sings on it?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
It's Into the Woods. Anyway, so this The Devil Wears Prada is a metalcore band, and they were very important to me when I was like 16, when I was in high school. And this is their best album. This album was very big for metalcore music in the 2000s and the 2010s. But this was like, they kind of put it on vinyl. And then a couple years ago, they made these ones, and man, they sold out instantly. And I had no money at the time. So earlier this year, someone was selling their copy on Facebook, and I got mine. Let me show you. The record it's on is one of the reasons it's so expensive, because it is
pure gold. Oh, that's cool.
Super cool. Yellow and purple splatter with all kinds of other colors inside.
Wouldn't that be marbled? It looks more of a marble than a splatter.
I said splatter. I meant marbled.
Yeah, geez, Chris, get it right.
I know. I've actually never held a record before. So it's not only just beautiful, and it's a great album. Every song is incredible. I have mad love for it, and have for going on 13 years now. I love this album. So
Yeah.
that's a big one. I don't ever want to get rid of this. Please bury me with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Brent will be at my funeral when he buries me. So,
oh yeah.
And everybody watching this, you're witnesses. So,
yep. I will be in charge of the 21 t-shirt gun salute. We will shoot out t-shirts to those in attendance to commemorate your burial.
They have to be shirts. Yeah.
It'll be letter rip and RIP. I stole that from The Simpsons anyways.
I know you did, but that's okay.
My favorite episode all time, Maud dies. Keeps coming back to The Simpsons. Sorry. Anyways.
The Simpsons is the best thing in the world, so it's totally fine.
So and I can't think of another actress who is more metal than Meryl Streep. So
that's true. Maybe Cher. But that's it.
I honestly think Meryl Streep could still take Cher in a fight.
It depends who has a knife.
Let's say they both have knives.
Well, then we're gonna die. Anyway, we can move on from the.
This is the important stuff people want to know about.
Before the Cher stands and the Meryl Streep fans come after us.
Yeah. We're gonna put a poll up on this.
Who would win in a knife fight between Cher and Meryl Streep? I love that. Okay, everybody, that's how we're going to preview this episode.
We'll put it up. I'll try to put this episode out tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll put it up after and
that'll be our way of getting the episode out.
All right, perfect.
That's our main topic. 3 records that mean a lot to us.
Yep, this is a good segment. I enjoyed that. We'll have to do more things like that. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and transition to the second segment of the night, the segment I'm in charge of that I'm really looking forward to. We're going to play a game. And this is everyone listening or watching, whichever one you're doing. I don't know. Maybe you're blind. That's going to be my goal, is to get you to spit out your drink one of these times. Anyway.
That was so ableist. Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, the game we're playing today is called On the Right Track. And so what's going to happen is I have selected some albums here. Chris does not know, neither do you know, which albums I have selected. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start naming off some of the tracks from those albums. We're going to see how long it takes Chris and you, if you're playing at home, to figure out which album I'm reading the tracks from.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and start with the non-single tracks first to make it a little more challenging. If that proves too challenging for our feeble minds, we'll just go ahead and go through order of track listing. So, Chris, do you understand the rules?
I understand the rules, Brent, and I am ready.
All right, good. Because if you do not guess the album by the end of all the tracks, 5 lashes, whoosh, just like that.
Like eyelashes?
Actual lashes from a whip. The Dominator 5000. I got one. Don't ask why.
We have to pay for this pod somehow, right?
That's right. We're endorsed by the Dominator. All right. So let me pull up album number 1 that we're going to go through. Okay. Are you ready for this? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to name off a track. I'll give you 5 seconds to think about it, and then I'll go to the next track. Maybe 5 or 10. I'm not going to make it science. Okay. So here we go. We're going to start. And you know, with this one, I'll just go ahead and read them all the way through, and we'll see how long it takes you. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. For those playing at home as well. Track number 1, Drive My Car. Track number 2, Norwegian Wood.
Keep going.
Track number 3, You Won't See Me. Track number 4. I bet you there's fans who are of this band who are just like, anyways,
screaming.
And don't feel bad. I would not have gotten it yet either. Track number 4, Nowhere Man. A blank stare. Track number 5, Think for Yourself.
These are so ambiguous.
They are very ambiguous. That's why I chose this one.
I have a good guess on Drive My Car, but everything else has been.
All right. Track number 6, The Word.
The Word?
The Word.
Man, these are so creative.
The Bird is the Word. All right. Track number 7. This is a single.
Okay.
This might be a big hint. Michelle.
Oh, so this is the Beatles.
Ooh, he's on the right track. Oh, we said it.
What album? This wouldn't have been the White Album.
Okay, let me keep going. before
Okay,
you guess, and you get 5 lashes.
Okay.
Track number 8, What Goes On.
Okay. I'm narrowing it down in my head, everybody. I am getting there.
All right. Track number 9, Girl.
Keep going.
Track number 10, I'm Looking Through You. Track number 11, and this is the one that would give it away for me. None of these other ones would have helped me really. In My Life.
Oh shoot.
That's only because it's my favorite Beatles song.
Is it really? That's a fun fact.
Yeah. Track number 12. Wait. I'm trying to animate these for you.
Wait.
All right. Track number 13. You've only got 2 tracks left, my friend.
I know. I'm so worried.
Track 13. If I Needed Someone.
Okay.
I can name the last track for you.
Name the last track.
The last track is Run for Your Life, because there's 5 lashes coming.
Okay.
So those are all the tracks.
Yeah.
You get 1 guess, make it a good one, or else there's 5 lashes to start off.
I know.
Tougher than we thought it would be.
It is tougher because this is the one Beatles album that I don't have as much knowledge on as I do the other ones.
Well, how would you know? You don't even know what album it is.
Shut up. My God.
I only got the lid off. Dang it. All right, go on. I'll give you 15 seconds. All right. Someone put 15 seconds.
The thing is, I can see it in my head, but I don't know the name of it right away. It's the one with the drawing on it. Does that make sense? It's the Beatles album that was before Let It Be, and it had the drawing on it. Oh gosh, dang it! I can see it in my head.
We all know how Chris draws now.
It wasn't Sgt. Pepper's. It wasn't the White Album. It wasn't Help. It wasn't it wasn't the early ones.
All right.
Okay, I can't get it. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's a flexible material and another word for spirit.
Polyethylene soul. Rubber soul.
Ah!
That was way too hard.
Oh, okay.
Not like difficulty, but just in my head, like going through the albums from the Beatles. But this game is delightful.
Okay. Let's try another one. Okay, I think we got time for one more.
I swear, if it's another Beatles one,
I'll go a little easier on you this one, since that one was so brutal. I think maybe I'll choose something that might
You're right though. So many people are watching this and they
might redeem you. Okay, are you ready, my friend? I have the next album loaded up.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go, and I'll just go through it again. I'm not even going to be selectful.
Yeah.
Here we go. Track number 1, Helena, So Long and Good Night.
Oh, this is 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge by My Chemical Romance.
There you go, redeemed. Track number 1.
That was easy. That was my jam. They're my top favorite band.
I know, that's why I picked it. Okay,
You're so nice. Thank you.
Yes, so I want people to know that you do indeed know some albums. So I've got one more. We're gonna do one more. I didn't want you to look bad. You know what I mean? I've got your back.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So
nothing makes me look like a music fan more than knowing My Chemical Romance over the Beatles.
All right, here we go. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Number 3.
Here we go. So you've got 5 lashes. You've won 1. You've missed 1. Let's see if you can get 2 out of 3 and you can win. If you get the second one right, we'll give you no lashes. Okay.
Okay. Maybe just 1.
I'll be a little disappointed. I think some of the listeners will be too, though.
Okay.
That would be good TikTok content. So, anyways, here we go. Third album, okay. Track number 1, State of Grace.
State of Grace. Okay, track number 2.
Track number 2, Red.
Just Red?
Yeah, Red.
Is this that damn Taylor Swift album, Red?
He knows Taylor Swift more than he knows the Beatles, everybody.
Is that it?
Yes. He says, "Oh, I don't like Taylor Swift." He's a closeted Swift fan, everybody. And that's the proof right there.
No way was that the right answer.
Yes.
I'm going to go commit some crimes, everybody.
Okay, here.
Oh,
let's do one more. I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun. I hope everyone's enjoying this segment. If not, I'm wasting everybody's time. We'll do another legit one here. Give me a second here to look it up on my phone.
Man, I feel so bad about myself right now.
Yeah, I know that you know Taylor Swift better than you know the Beatles.
I know Taylor Swift better than the Beatles. That's
Okay,
pathetic.
here we go. Are you ready, my friend? This will
Mm-hmm.
be the last one. This is just for fun. I hope people who are watching enjoying this. Here we go.
Here we go.
Track number 1, Custard Pie. Probably the lowest of the pies on my list.
Go to track number 2, Brent.
The Rover.
The Rover.
Yeah.
Track number 3.
In My Time of Dying.
Oh, this sounds a lot more familiar. Custard Pie, The Rover, In My Time of Dying. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
This is a big hint right here. Houses of the Holy.
Oh, that's not a Zeppelin song, is it?
I don't know. Is it?
Well, you do know, but keep going. Go to 5.
Trampled Underfoot.
Go to 6.
Oh, man. Here you go. This should be the giveaway right here. Cashmere.
Oh, okay. Kashmir was on. That wasn't 4. Stairway to Heaven was on 4. Well, keep going though. I keep going.
All right. He knows Taylor Swift and he knows Zeppelin.
Yeah.
In the Light.
Is it one of the Number albums? Can you just tell me if it's one of the Number albums?
I mean, I guess I can, but we'll give you 2.5 lashings instead of 5. It is not one of the 4.
Okay, thank you.
You've narrowed down half of it.
I've just got the first 4 out of the way. Good job, everybody. And you're right. If it was Kashmir, it wouldn't have been on the first 4. Duh.
So here we go. Okay. Next one. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Bron, you're our. It's BRON space YR space AUR. So anyways,
that's how I would have pronounced it too. Yeah.
Bron, you're our.
Oh my gosh, what is this album called?
Down by the Seaside. Next track. Track number 9. Down by the Seaside.
I'm racking my brain. What is this freaking album called?
Track number 10. 10 years ago. 10 years gone. Fitting.
I'm losing it.
Track number 11. The Led Zeppelin fans are rioting right now. They're going to be trying to cancel our show now as well.
I know.
Do you have a guess as to what the name of the album is? I'll take a guess right now.
I'm trying to think of what the named albums are.
Do you know what those are?
I'm so familiar with the first 4 records that the ones after are just what the
because they're Led Zeppelin 1, Led Zeppelin 2.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Is that's what my dad showed me growing up, was the first 4. So I don't really know that much after it.
All right. So it doesn't even matter if I go through the rest of the tracks. You're not even sure you're going to know the name.
Exactly.
Oh no. All right. Track 11, Night Flight. Track 12, The Wonton Song. Makes me hungry. Track 13, Boogie with Stu.
I'm gonna kick myself so hard the second you have to tell me what this is.
I probably will too. Through the screen. Track 14, Black Country Woman, and then track 15, Sick Again.
You're gonna have to tell me. I can't think of it.
It's a form of vandalism.
Graffiti.
And it's not spiritual. What would be the opposite of spiritual?
Sinful graffiti.
Sinful. No. Come on, you should know graffiti. You should know the name of the album. It's Physical Graffiti. Did you hear me?
I honestly could not have told you it was Physical Graffiti. You could have given me a list of 3. I wouldn't have picked Physical Graffiti. My apologies, right. Everybody watching this.
All right, so this game was a bust. Thanks, Crit.
Shut up. I'm just the bust. I'm the problem.
What we'll have to do next time is we'll have to have, for this game specifically, we'll have to have someone come on, and we'll make it a contest to see, who's the first.
That. And we have so many people that want to come on.
Have they passed the rigorous initiation process to be a guest on the show?
Have I sent them my nudes and they just kept talking to me? Yes. So I love that game personally, and I really hope we do this more because that was tons of fun. I am very aware that the people watching this are probably going to snap their phones in half that I knew Taylor Swift and My Chemical Romance better than I knew 2 of the bands that are the reason we have music in the day.
I would expect your messages inbox to be flooded with tons of hate mail.
Yeah.
after this is released. I
I'm
would actually
very aware of
encourage anybody who listens to this game to send Chris a message and belittle him, in any means you seem necessary.
Please cyberbully me.
We encourage cyberbullying on this show.
I love it. All right, so our last segment of the episode is we're going to do a quick Q&A of some of our friends on Instagram. We went and got some crowdsourced questions, and we're going to ask. We're just going to do 2, maybe 3. We did get a lot, so thank you to everybody that submitted questions. We'll hopefully get to more, but let's start this off.
All right. Question number 1.
Question number 1, our good buddy Steven from Australia, also known as Beards and Breakdowns Vinyl on Instagram. What is one thing you wish you knew when first collecting?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, whenever I think Australia, I think of that scene in Dumb and Dumber where the lady says she's from Austria and then he does the Australian accent. Anyways.
Shrink on the Bobby.
Classic movie. Once again, another podcast. Another show. I don't know why I keep calling it a podcast. But anyways, it's one thing I wish I would have known collecting. Honestly, when I first started collecting, I didn't know about all the different variants when it comes to records. I thought for the most part everything was on black because I just didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. So when I started collecting some of my favorite albums, I was like, oh, I'll just get the black variant because those are usually the most common to find, at an affordable price too. So I was buying these albums that I love, and not that you have to have them on a variant, but if you're a variant whore like me, it's really cool to have them on a variant. So I have bought a significant, I don't want to say significant, but a large amount of my favorite records multiple times because I didn't know there was variants out there when I first started. I was like, just buy the black one, and there's nothing wrong with the black one at all. If that's, so, but just for me, I personally wanted the cooler looking, I shouldn't say cooler. I wanted the variants.
There you go.
So anyways, that's one thing I wish I knew when I first started.
For sure.
Would save me some money. How about you, Chris?
Mine's a little bit more super specific. But when I started collecting, one thing I was not aware of was you need to be holding the jackets carefully, because if you've ever gotten a paper cut from a vinyl jacket, they are the most horrific pain you'll ever experience because it's technically cardboard slicing your skin open. And those suckers last so long. So I would say just hold it like a normal person holds it. Don't be all cool and willy-nilly cocktails with Tom Cruise with it. Just hold the record sleeve normal, because I have gotten several paper cuts that hurt like none other.
Yeah, you need to be careful. That's never happened to me. So
yeah, you're just smart. You're just smart. That's what it is.
I don't know about that.
All right, next question.
I hope those are helpful.
Yeah, I hope anybody watching this is like, wow. So I should get variants and just hold it normal. Good work, you guys.
That is groundbreaking stuff.
That is just killer. Okay, we have a question from our friend Megan, also known as Megan KC on Instagram and TikTok. What has been your favorite part of collecting?
Ooh, my favorite part of collecting. First of all, I gotta say happy late birthday to Megan. I know it's probably been close to a week now, but anyways, my favorite part of collecting obviously has been the people that I've gotten to know through collecting. Since I've only been in Utah for about a year now, and all my friends outside of work are fellow record collectors, because that's we connected on Instagram and TikTok and whatnot, and that's kind of my social life outside of my family and work. So that's been my favorite part is just some of the cool people I've gotten to meet.
Absolutely. The people you can meet record collecting, they tend to be very awesome quality people that also understand you. And
some of them are jerks.
Yeah, like that chicken and waffles fool. Dear Lord.
I'm talking about the gatekeepers too.
Yeah, we won't mention those people. So
the flippers.
And the flippers. But you're one of those. So anyway, I also love the community, and I feel bad that that wasn't my knee-jerk reaction. I love the people, same thing. Yeah. They're incredible, Brent. I love them all. Anybody watching this, I'm going to look right in the camera. Everybody watching this that I've met through record collecting, I love you so much, and I give my entire life to you. But the other thing, here's what I love. There is a genuine thrill and adrenaline rush of like going to a record store and digging and finding something that you like either wanted for a really long time or you just didn't know they had on vinyl. That feeling is more like incredible than heroin from what I understand. Like it is just a rush to be at some crappy little record store that's the size of a closet and you're like, oh, use, oh my gosh. And then you like pull it out and it's the most incredible feeling in the world. The Hunt.
And it's the Peter Frampton live, right? That's
and it's Peter Frampton live. And you hold it up and your face becomes everything. Do you feel like I do?
Yeah. No, that's the whole purpose of my No by November. I felt like I had a legit addiction. It wasn't even so much listening to the records anymore as it was, oh, new record in the mail, a present to a treat, And so that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to get back to the spirit of it with listening and more than I am buying. Anyways, so I totally understand that. Something new and something fun.
It's like a freakish feeling that it's hard to compare to anything else because you feel like the dragon from The Hobbit, where you have like these treasures and you gather them under you and you're just like, oh. Anyway, let's go for one more question.
The dragon in The Hobbit. That's exactly it. You've pinpointed it.
This question I thought was actually phenomenal for both of us. This is from the account WageWax on Instagram. Also, congratulations, WageWax, for getting back on Instagram. How do you guys stay innovative in vinyl content? Also, do you prefer TikTok or Instagram? That is a bomb question. How do you stay innovative, and do you prefer TikTok or Instagram?
I mean, I like them both. I don't know if I have a preference. I like them. They have different purposes for me. For the most part, I love to share my collection on Instagram. That's all, like take pictures of what I have and whatnot. But on TikTok, I do get to share what I think he would consider more of the creative side of me, with like all these dumb videos that I make and post. So I like them both. I don't know if I had to choose between one or the other, I don't know which one I'd be able to choose. It's like asking me to choose between my kids. So and yes, I did just compare my kids to social media platforms.
Good for you, Brent.
Mark would be so proud. So I really don't have a trick. I'm sorry. I don't have anything that helps me stay. I mean, if you want to call it innovation, honestly, like I'll be sitting watching an episode of The Simpsons or Seinfeld or something, and it's just an idea will pop up. I guess I have muses. That's what, kind of inspires me. I'll be watching something, maybe I'll see something on TikTok, something that's trending, and I'll think, okay, well, like sometimes there'll be like a revelation, and it's like, oh, simple. Sometimes it's like, I'll be like, okay, how could we convert that into a meaningful video for TikTok? And it might require a little bit of thinking, but most of the time it's just like an idea that pops in my mind. I'm sorry, I don't have like a really cool secret. Not that I think I have a secret, for being innovative. I wish I had more. Just watch the stuff that you like, and hopefully something in your noggin clicks. I don't know.
I think that's great advice, actually. Like you can get the most bizarre inspiration from just what you enjoy entertainment wise.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I get a lot of real life inspiration too. Because we have what I would consider an addiction, a record collecting addiction, and I have a spouse who's dealing with that. So sometimes that real life stuff can be translated over into content for TikTok and whatnot. So anyways.
Absolutely. I think what I do for both Instagram and TikTok for innovation is I just think of what I don't see and I would like to see. So that could be stuff about a very specific band or type of music or even a type of post, whatever. I'm not a big fan of being like everybody else. And so my goal is constantly, how am I going to be different than everyone else? And so I think personally, I prefer TikTok to Instagram because I think TikTok's more fun and there's less like, what am I trying to say? Like it's easier to stand out on TikTok than it is on Instagram. And with TikTok, like you said, I feel like there's a lot of room for creativity because you're doing videos as opposed to pictures. And I also just think TikTok, the audience is different on TikTok than it is on Instagram because people don't go on TikTok. Well, I shouldn't overgeneralize everybody. A lot of people don't go on TikTok because it's serious. They go there to let it escape, just be funny, be interesting. And so same thing, like I made a TikTok just like last week using an audio from The Simpsons, the episode where Homer, it's the the Duffland episode. And it's where Homer is eating a giant sandwich that he just keeps like eating slowly and slowly. And as I was watching that, I found that audio on TikTok and I was like, I can just make this about records. That's all. You don't have to be intelligent. You don't have to be like Bella Hadid and beautiful. You can literally just make stupid stuff on TikTok and it can go really well. And I also just appreciate like the people that are nice to me on TikTok because it's just where my crap content goes. Instagram is great though. I do love Instagram. I think it's just a different form of creativity for me because I have always loved doing videos more than I love doing photos. So Instagram tends to be just more, like you said, showing off my collection than it is, this is Chris as a collector.
Gotcha.
If that makes any sense. So there you go. Great questions though. Thank you everybody submitted questions. Those were the ball.
And I'm sorry if you noticed me looking down while you were talking. I had to Google who Bella Hadid was. So you made a reference. I had no idea who she was. So
I'm the one getting all the hate from not knowing the Beatles and Led Zeppelin. But Brent, his house stays unburnt because he doesn't know who Bella Hadid is. Anyway, she's a model.
I Google let me know that. Yeah. So
she's a model. Her mom was on The Real Housewives. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that about her. But
Yolanda Hadid.
Anyway. Yep. All right.
That's Bella Hadid for you.
So,
is there anything else you want to talk about, Brent, or mention?
No, I think we're good. I think this was a fun episode. I hope everyone enjoys as much as I did.
Yeah, man. And if they didn't, whatever, we had a great time. So
screw that.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Dead Wax Show. Please go to our Instagram, our TikTok, and our YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow for lots of ridiculous content, tomfoolery, buffoonery, all of the conflama, everything you've ever wanted in life can come from these social media accounts. And if there's anything else you have questions for us or ideas for stuff we could talk about, please let us know in the comments or DM us. We're nice people, and follow us on our personal accounts.
Yeah, I was going to say to follow the show, it's Dead Wax Show on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So
on everything.
Look for those. Dead Wax Show. We just call the show Dead Wax, but on our social medias, it's Dead Wax Show. One word. All together.
Dead Wax Show.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, thank you everybody for listening. If you've made it this far, congratulations. A trophy will be mailed to you. Once again, make sure that you get out of the groove and get into the Dead Wax. Have a good night, everybody.
You have to pay for shipping.